Hunt down the Freeman.
You fucked up my face.
Chaser.
Dark Eye.
Exodus of the Earth.
Mike, no!
These are all SS tier games on my channel. Super shit tier games, and we've got another one to add to it. Hey everyone, Jared here. Today I'm going to be covering a game called E.T. Armies. E.T. apparently standing for extraterrestrial. I saw the game, it looked okay. I didn't really know what I was getting into, I just saw another indie first-person shooter. Boy if I knew. Upon trying to launch the game, it immediately opened to a black screen and then closed. No matter what I did, it would not launch. Since the game doesn't exactly have much of a following, or any at all, finding information about it was difficult. Trying to find someone else that had the same problem was near impossible, and no one seemed to have a solution. PC Gaming Wiki barely had an article on this game at all, so there wasn't a solution there either. I resorted to looking through their forums and finding a completely unrelated post talking about how you can change the resolution through an INI file. I do play at 2560 by 1440, and since the expected base resolution is 1080, I thought maybe it was defaulting to 1080 and just not letting me launch the game. I don't know, it seems really silly, but whatever, let's give it a shot. I changed the resolution in that INI file, and it let me launch the game. So if the game is running at any resolution other than your default resolution, you just can't play it. We're off to a good start. This is especially annoying since the resolution settings are with all the other graphics settings, so if you accidentally change it and click apply, the game won't work anymore. You have to change it in INI file again. The game also has a lot of other small problems, like the FOV being kind of shitty, but whatever. I'm not going to go out of my way to try to fix it because that would be impossible with this game. Fuck it, I installed it, it works, let's play the game. E.T. Armies tries to steal the look of Killzone while also stealing the gameplay of Call of Duty while failing at both. Let's start with the graphics. The developers of this game subscribe to the idea that if you add enough bloom into your game, no one will notice how bad it looks. Seriously, there are so many special effects on the screen, despite the fact that the texture resolution is terrible, the animations are terrible, particle effects are non-existent, and the sound design. Oh my god, the sound design is the worst I have ever heard in any game. You can't tell where people are shooting at you from. You can't tell if they're in front of you, behind you, to your side, above you, below you. You can't even tell where people are talking from. Everyone in the game, every time they speak, it sounds like your character is speaking. And that's not even covering the sound effects themselves. These are miserable. This sounds like a default Unity hitmarker sound. Actually, let's play a game. I'm gonna play a sound effect right now, and you're gonna guess what it is.
It's like the railing is just...
Did you guess thunder? You'd be wrong. That's supposed to be a sniper in the distance. Not only are these sound effects incredibly low quality, but they aren't even implemented into the game correctly. Any gun that's fully automatic has its sound wave interrupted by the next shot. Gunshots only play halfway with fully automatic weapons. There are so many other examples I could bring up, but just trust me when I say this is the worst sounding game I've ever played. And that's just talking about the guns, let alone the mic quality of the voice actors, which I'll get onto later. You want to know the file size of this game? It came out in 2016, keep in mind. It's 3 gigabytes. 3 gigabytes. All the textures, all the animations, all the sound files, all compressed to 3 gigabytes. This explains a lot. But okay, enough ranting, let's move on to the story. I have no fucking idea what happened. The beginning of E.T. Armies starts with a cutscene that's admittingly pretty nice to look at. The story it tells is incredibly generic though. We've destroyed Earth, everyone fought a bunch of wars, so we had to leave Earth, and the people that are left there are pissed off, so they start waging wars on other planets. There, I just summed up about a 5 to 10 minute long cutscene. And I have no fucking clue how this plays into the rest of the game. I'm guessing these people are supposed to be the bad guys, but I mean, I don't know, I'd kind of sympathize with them. And also, that's not clarified at all either. At one point, the main character even questions the bad guys, saying that this technology is too high-tech for quote-unquote Forsaken, the people that have left Earth, and then it's never brought up again. So I have no idea who the enemies are we're fighting the entire game. And they're the same enemies the entire game. And a very similar story can be told about the Allies. The protagonist, I have no idea who these protagonists are. You know the old phrase, show don't tell? This game doesn't show me or tell me, I don't know what the fuck's happening. After that cutscene ends, you still don't have control of your character, and you're thrown into an exposition dump in a transport. That one gets shot down, you have to jump out, and you finally meet the leader of your troop. And you can control your character. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even remember his name. You meet up with this guy, fight through some generic bad guys, and eventually meet the general. The general and your troop leader apparently have some bad history, but he's still leading for whatever reason. Supposedly he fucked up before. I don't know why this is supposed to mean anything to me. The game just started 10 minutes ago. I have no connection to this character, so why would I be emotionally invested in this? Oh wait, the game's trying to do a flashback to show me.
Why are you insisting on waiting?
Never mind, it didn't show me anything. Seriously, this is all the story you're getting out of this game. You get some objectives in the mission, you get some exposition telling you what to do, you don't know why you're doing these objectives, just do them, I guess. Meanwhile, the voice acting is utterly terrible with incredibly low mic quality.
Parad, welcome my friend. It's been a long time.
Thanks for the hospitality, Shorok. We enjoyed it so far. How did they find out about us in those ruins? What kind of security is this, General?
Grumpy as always. They are everywhere. We needed help. That's why you are here. You must be tired. Get some rest. Then we talk about our plans.
Meanwhile, your troop leader is being that guy who's always in control. Don't question me, I know what I'm doing, go do it. So he kind of comes off as a prick that doesn't actually know what he's doing the entire game. That is, till the very end of the game where you have to place bombs on 4 different pillars in a room, and then you get this glorious cutscene.
Boss, let's go.
No. Nothing can stop these bombs. Time to fix an old mistake.
Wait, what are you doing, boss? Wait.
I think I've found a new soundbite for my videos. Keep in mind, we have no idea who this guy still is, we still don't know who the enemies are, this is just kind of how the game ends. Again, this game doesn't show or tell you, it just kind of happens around you and you don't know what's actually happening. But none of this means anything if the gameplay is good enough to carry the game. So does it? This game made me want to jump. This was one of those games where you play for an hour and it felt like you were playing for 5. It's such a generic, boring, padded out game. Unfortunately, this isn't one of those bad games that's enjoyable because it's so bad. No, it's one of those bad games that's frustrating because it's so bad. There are 6 weapons in total. 3 assault rifles play almost exactly the same. You have an unlimited ammo pistol, which is basically useless, a sniper that is all powerful, and a shotgun. There are no SMGs in this game. They probably would have played the same as the assault rifles anyway. All of these weapons are hit scan, with the exception of the sniper, which is still hit scan, but I guess they wanted to make it feel like it wasn't, so there's a delay between when you shoot and when it actually hits something. It's not a true projectile, it's still hit scan, it just takes a half a second before it actually hits it. This is the laziest way to try to fake projectiles, and it doesn't make any sense when the rest of the weapons are hit scan and have their bullets hit their enemies immediately. But this gameplay, my goodness, walk down a corridor, chest high walls everywhere, shoot, wait for your health to come back, shoot some more. These enemies are so brain dead, they just run straight at you or sit behind cover doing nothing. There's really only 2 enemy types in the entire game. A generic military dude, and another guy that just runs at you with a shotgun.
He's still alive. Wow. Oh. The dude survived all that and then just shoots me.
There are some other flying mech enemies, but that just poses more of a nuisance when the game is chest-high cover wall shooting and they can just fly over your cover. And trust me, you're going to be sitting behind walls a lot. You have to stop every 5 minutes to defend something. Gonna hack a door? Well, I guarantee you, you're gonna have to wait for that door to hack while enemies run at you and you have to defend that door. You have a friendly with you? Well, you're gonna have to sit in place defending that friendly, and if you get too far behind, you have a 6-second countdown that auto-fails you if you don't return within those 6 seconds. Have you gotten into a tram? Well, that tram's gonna randomly stop for no reason, and they're gonna have to send you another tram, but you're gonna have to defend yourself till that new one shows up. Oh, and my personal favorite, there is a quote-unquote wagon that you're using as cover that is slowly being moved up, stopping every 20 feet to shoot some more enemies, and then when you finally get to the end of the tracks, you get into it and ride away anyway. Why couldn't I have just fucking done that to begin with? To make all of this better, if you die in the middle of any of these defense sections, you have to start from the beginning. I even had a situation where the game soft-locked me. A character got stuck in place, an NPC that I needed to continue, but he wouldn't do anything, no matter how much I shot him or threw grenades at him. So I had to load the last checkpoint. I was so close to giving up and saying, fuck it, I've played enough, I'll just make the video, I've already seen enough. But just for you guys, I stuck with it and I beat the game. This game is such padded out trash that it's difficult to explain how frustrating it is. Oh, and that wagon you were riding, that big thing you were using as cover? Well, apparently you lose control of the brakes somehow, so in order to stop it, 2 men somehow tip it over from within. What? And this is without even mentioning how they made basic controls feel terrible. For starters, your walk movement speed is incredibly slow, almost the same speed as you crouching. Your sprinting is also pretty slow, but passable. Aiming down sights is by far the worst thing about this game. First off, it's toggle, so if you prefer hold aim down sights, well, tough luck. Secondly, while you're aiming down sights, you can't do anything. Yeah, it's one of those games. If you try to sprint while you're aiming down sights, nothing happens. It doesn't pull you out of your iron sights, you're just locked in place. Try to swap weapons, nothing happens. Try to throw a grenade, nothing happens. You need to press the button again to stop aiming before you can do anything. To make things even better, aiming down sights is entirely visual. It doesn't actually change anything. The cone spread is the same whether you're aiming down sights or not. You can hip fire the entire game and be fine. Yes, this also applies to the sniper. It's 100% accurate. You just don't have a crosshair and don't get the zoom. There's some other issues in this game, like the fact that you don't have a melee at all, which is a bigger problem than you think because you're constantly getting swarmed by enemies. You can't do anything out of jump, so if you're trying to jump and sprint to speed things up, well, too bad. If you press reload and then hold the trigger down while the gun is reloading, it's not going to start shooting when the reload ends. You're gonna have to let go and click again. This means that if you think an animation ends shorter than what it really does, you're just gonna stand there not shooting at anything. They even managed to mess things up so badly that while the recoil is resetting on your screen, you can't start sprinting. Yeah, you heard that right. You can't start sprinting until your crosshair recenters. How do you even fuck up that badly? What did you do? And out of all of this, the game was only 2 hours long. It felt like 6, but it was only 2. You might be saying, oh, you don't need to be so harsh. It was made by some indie developer. But it's still $15. You think this is worth $15? Heed me when I say don't bother playing this game. I played this game so you don't have to. Alright, I got a whole heap of stuff to say before the end of this video. The first one is that I completely redid my Patreon. Previously, there was not a whole lot there because I didn't know what to put there, but I redid the goals and I redid the tiers. Long story short, if we reach certain goals, I will cover some highly requested games that I originally didn't have any intentions to cover, like say IGI. I also added an extra tier where you can just tell me to cover a certain game. As long as it's a single player first person shooter that I haven't already covered, I will cover it. The next thing is that I'm actually getting somewhat close to 200k subscribers, so if you want to help me reach 200k, be sure to subscribe and click that bell. When I reach 200k, I should probably do something special, but I don't really know what yet. And the last thing is a big thank you to everyone that hung out with me over on Twitch while I streamed this travesty of a game. I would have gone insane without you people. Everyone that subscribes on Twitch gets to see my videos ahead of time, so if you want to check that out and hang out, my Twitch is twitch.tv/Jared4GamingDragon. And I think that's it. A huge thanks to all of you that watched this video. I wouldn't be able to do what I do without you guys. I love you guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.